Good evening, folks. We are getting ready for Global Tarot Circle here on Facebook Live. It is 2 minutes before our official start time of 7 o'clock. Today's date is October 9th, 2019. If you happen to be watching an archive, either on Facebook or YouTube, please do watch. We welcome you here, but don't be offended when we don't answer you, because if we're not live, we're not live. So I see people coming into the room already. Say hi. Let us know who you are and where you are. In fact, oh, look at that. Neil Quattrano, first one here. Adina Gibson, glad you're here. Tabitha Dial, glad you're here. So many great people. So let us know where in the world you are. Let us know if you have a tarot deck with you, what tarot deck you're working with. And most importantly, let us know what burning questions you have. And I have to tell you, usually I hop on a couple of minutes early just to make sure we're up and running officially for 7 o'clock. You guys are awesome. We have a room full of people here a minute before start time. So thank you guys so much for being prompt. Natasha, Lori, Kathy, so happy to see you. Hey, Kathy, I don't think I knew that you were in New Jersey. I've spent an awful lot of time in New Jersey, to be honest. Okay. Tabitha's in Lexington, and I got someone here. Oh, that's you, Tabitha, working with Chrysalis Tarot tonight. Lori Stone, glad you're here. So, it is now 7 o'clock, so we can officially start. So for those of you who have never done this with us before, we try to do this once a month. If you want to make sure you don't miss an episode, and if you want to get in on the planning phase of this, you can join our Facebook group, which is Global Tarot Circle. And we do some of our exercises there, and we also plan our meetings there. Lots of people coming in. Hey, Natasha, Hanson Roberts, love that deck in Tampa, Florida. So glad you're here. Hermit TK reporting for duty. Very good. Let's see. Lori's working with Marchetti Tarot. Amy Mauser, my good friend in Portland, Oregon. So glad you're here. So, and you know, this is going to roll by pretty fast. David, so glad you're here. Mickey Klein, we were just emailing. So glad you're here, coming in from Texas. So, Lisa McCord, hey, the Good Tarot, your brand new deck. Very good that you have the Good Tarot. And Lisa's my neighbor right here in South Florida. So, let me do Julie, hey, in Palm Beach Gardens. Very good. And actually, Julie asked a fun question that we're going to be working with later on. So here's the format. Knit Faster, Trisha, with the Green Witch Tarot. Julia Quattrano, part of the Quattrano family, is here. David Victor, glad to see you here again. So glad you're all here. You're all ready. We've got Annie from Fort Lauderdale. We've got Karen. So glad you're all here. If I don't acknowledge you by name, I do apologize. But at this point, we went from 5 people to 25. So we're rocking and rolling, and I thank you all for being here. Okay, for those of you who are here for the very first time, here's how we work. We like to spend the first half hour doing readings and answering burning questions, which I'll explain in just a moment. And then for the second half hour, we like to do an informal workshop. And that's the part that we really plan in the Global Tarot Circle Facebook group. So if you want to be part of that, just join. Okay, welcome everyone coming in. Lily and Deirdre, so glad you're here. So today for the workshop portion, I promised you that we would talk a little bit about non-tarot oracles, working with oracle decks. How many of you, let's just see a show of hands. Let me know how many of you work with oracle decks. How many of you have Oracle decks here with you? What are your favorite Oracle decks? Go ahead and let me know as I explain to you about burning questions. All right. So, what are burning questions? A burning question is any question you would want to ask a room full of tarot readers. It could be a question about tarot. It could be, Lillian has over 200, that's over 200 Oracle decks. Oh my goodness gracious. All righty then. So a burning question could be, Natasha raises her hand, very good. A burning question could be anything you want to ask a room full of tarot readers. It could be a question about a reading you've done or a tarot technique or a particular deck. It could be a card that you're not understanding. So any question like that, you can go ahead and ask it, and we will all work together to give you perspective, to give you answers. The other thing that you can do as a burning question, and a reason I suspect a lot of you are here, is it can be a question for a reading. Any question that you are willing to ask in this group that we as a group will read on. What will happen is I will pull a single tarot card and give you my impression from that card. Then anyone else who wants to will pull a card and give their impressions in the comment thread. And so we all work together with tarotists all over the world. We all work together to create a reading for you. And so if you have a question about your life and would like us to read for you, you can go ahead and pop that in the comments and we'll get to you, or we will try to get to you. And let's just see the comments on Oracle decks. There seems to be a lot of love for Oracle decks, a lot of great tarot decks here too. We've got Shadowscapes, we've got a bunch of them. Knit Faster says she has them, but they're dusty. Perfect. One of April's favorites is Symbolon. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Lori Hahn has some with her now. Very good. We've got Linda here from Liverpool. So glad you're here. Clint is working with the Wild Unknown. Very good. Julie, time. And in fact, Julie, sorry for the freeze, guys. I want you to know I am moving to a new office where we will have better service and that will help. So I apologize for that. Yes, your video and audio stopped. Yes, absolutely. But I'm back now and thank you guys for hanging in there. As I said, I am moving to a new office on November 1st and we should have a better feed there. So thanks for that. Hey, Miranda, you are on my mind. You and I need to talk. Yes, welcome back. Thank you guys so much for hanging in there with me. If that happens again, just hang in there. We'll be back. I promise. I promise. We've had all kinds of tech issues in this office. That's not why we're moving, but it will be helpful when we do. So, anyway, let's see. Madame and Dora's fortune cards were Lori Hahn's first Oracle deck. Greetings from Lisa. So nice to see you. Kimberly, glad to see you. Okay, very good. So, very good. Linda in Liverpool says, I use my fairy and angel oracles answer as unicorn after I do tarot. It's uncanny how it relates. Yeah, the use of tarot and oracle together is really very interesting. Karen says she did a 3-card past, present, future reading in honor of my newsletter this morning, asking, what do I need to know about my financial situation? Got the Empress, Temperance reversed, and the Lovers. Don't really know how to interpret that. Well, let's start with that as our first burning question. So anyone who has a comment about Karen's reading, just put her name, Karin, and your comment, and Karen, just read through the thread and see what people say. Yes, you can post your burning question right now, Clint. If there's something you'd like to know, please do post it. Hey, Susan, glad you're here. I didn't know you were in New Jersey too. Do you know Kathy? Do you know her? We've got two people from New Jersey. You guys should get together. I know New Jersey is a really big state. Not all of you know each other. Okay, so burning questions can be about tarot, as we're about to answer, can be a question for a reading. We will read for you. Let's see what happens. Okay. Okay, just not answering my phone there. Okay, here we go. So, Karen's 3-card reading for the financial situation. Empress, Temperance reversed, and the Lovers. Now, my first question is, were you working with a full deck, or were you working just with the majors? Because you got 3 majors there. If you were working with the whole deck, we have to pay attention to the majors in that regard. And what we need to say about that, when you get all majors in a 3-card reading, if you're working with a 78-card deck, I would really say, the hand of a higher power is working with you. Be spiritual about it, be meditative about it, and be of faith about it. Now, the specific cards, the Empress is a card that can speak to prosperity. Temperance reversed says you may not be putting all the pieces together the way you need to, and you need to be patient. And the Lovers. And the Lovers and Temperance are very similar in that they are about putting things together and how we integrate things. So it does suggest that you will find the right mix, the right blend. You'll be okay. Be patient, figure it out, be spiritual about it. If you're a prayerful person, you should be praying. If you're a magical person, you should be burning those candles. If you're a law of attraction person, you should be working the law of attraction, making your vision board. That's what those cards say to me. What do they say to everyone else? Go ahead and answer. Okay, Okay, Kimberly says, I have several oracle decks. Some I read like tarot, usually oddball decks like the Morgan's Tarot, not Morgan Greer. That's an interesting deck. But others I feel kind of clueless. Here's a flower, here's a tree. They don't say too much to me. We are going to be talking about that in the second half of our broadcast today. Absolutely, absolutely. Okay, Lillian has a question. I think for all of us, if you'd like to answer, I'll answer. And anyone else who would like to answer, please answer. How old were you when you started doing talent? How old were you when you started doing readings or knew your talent? How did you decide to start your own business? So if you are a pro reader, share that. So I was really interested in the metaphysical from about age 6. I received in my holiday stocking when I was 8 the Gypsy Witch fortune cards, which I still in fact have. And I was profoundly blown away by how accurate they seemed to be. And of course, the adults around me just saw it as a joke. They didn't think that it was, significant. So I kind of put that away over time. And then when I was about 19, a bunch of us started doing I Ching. And again, I found the resonance for it. And people, although we were all doing I Ching together, people always wanted me to do their interpretations. I seem to have some ability to extrapolate the interpretation, not just to read from the Book of Changes, according to the hexagram, but indeed to extrapolate it and make it relevant to the person's life. So then finally I got into tarot with much resistance. I honestly thought tarot was ridiculous. I was about age 24. I was getting into Wicca. I was getting into all things spiritual, but tarot I thought too random, too weird, but it wouldn't leave me alone. It kept showing up in my life. So finally I bought a deck and took some classes, learned how to read. And for, about 8 years, I was just reading for friends, but people would be knocking on my door. Here's a bottle of wine. Here's some cookies. Here's my friend. Can you read for my friend? So it was like really clear people wanted readings with me. So then I met a guy, and, he said to me, you're a smart girl. How come you don't have much of a career? And I said, well, there's only one thing I'm really good at doing, and I don't know how to make it a career. He gave me some good ideas. He then became both my husband and my business manager to this day. He's my business partner now. And that's really how it all began. So there's my story. Please share your story. Tabitha will read for wine and cookies. Heck yeah. Not anymore. Now I actually read for cash dollars. Visa, MasterCard, PayPal, American Express. It all works for me. Okay, let's do our first reading. This is for Clint. What should I focus on for my business's grand opening event this Saturday? First of all, congratulations, Clint. Now, if you would like to read for Clint, what you need to do is put his name, Clint, C-L-I-N-T, the name of the card you got, and we're just working with tarot right now. We'll be playing with Oracle later on, so just tarot. The name of the card you got and your interpretation. I'll do mine verbally. Everyone else will write it. So, Clint, you'll read through the comments to get the rest of your reading, but I'll begin with the first card. What should you focus on for your business's grand opening event? I'll tell you what you shouldn't focus on. The Ace of Pentacles reversed. Now, this is kind of interesting because, of course, the Ace of Pentacles to me would be a new business. So if it comes up reversed, what that says to me is that don't be nervous about the fact that it's new, first of all, and don't be focusing on making money. So don't focus on the newness. Don't focus on the making money. Just do it. Have fun like you've always been doing it. Do it like you've always been doing it. And let it flow and let it happen. Okay. Anyone else want to read for Clint? Go ahead. Okay, my good friend Amy. I would love to know what the universe would most like to tell me today. Okay, Amy, if you'd like to read for Amy, what does the universe want her to know? Just put in her name, A-M-I-E, the name of the card you got, and your interpretation. What does the universe want Amy to know? The Three of Pentacles reversed. Got a lot of reverse pentacles today. Not loving that, but oh well, it is what it is. So if, Amy, there is a career issue that you are worried about, don't worry about it. Also, you yourself should not be worrying about everything you need to do. This is a time to be, not to do. There'll be plenty of time to do later. Okay, if you'd like to read for Amy, go right ahead. Julia, am I headed in the right direction in career and life choices? If you'd like to read for Julia, put down her name, Julia, the name of the card you got, and your interpretation. Okay, Julia, am I headed in the right direction? Nine of Swords. The only thing that's not in the right direction, Julia, is you're worrying too damn much. Stop worrying. And you know how I told Amy she didn't need to be doing? You need to be doing. You need to stop thinking and start doing, my friend. Okay, TK. Where will I be in July, August 2020? USA, Canada, or India? Interesting question. Let's take a vote. And that's obviously going to take more than one card. So I'll show you how I do that. If you'd like to read for TK, just put his name, TK. The name of, well, actually, don't even worry about the names of the cards. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to pull 4 cards. One for USA, one for Canada, one for India, one for other. And of those four, I'll choose the one that feels most probable. I'm not even going to tell you what I'm doing. I'm just going to give you my vote, what I think, where I think he's going to be. And I invite you to do the same. Okay. Honestly, Canada is looking likely. And, for the longest time, I was saying no Canada, but now it is starting to look likely. So there's that. Okay, take a vote. I see one for India, and honestly, India was my second choice, so I wouldn't be surprised with India either. Okay, Lisa. What is happening at work at the end of the month? Well, there's an interesting question. If you'd like to read for Lisa, put her name, Lisa, Lisa, the name of the card you got, and your interpretation. Ooh, Lisa, what is happening at work at the end of the month? Everyone is living happily ever after. Isn't that interesting? There could be new alliances. There could be an announcement that makes people happy. There could be people getting along better than they were, but it looks positive to me. Okay, there's Kathy. She's in Woodbridge. I'm trying to get Kathy and Susan together because you guys are both really smart tarot ladies, man. I think you should know each other. Okay, Kimberly. A friend of mine, a recruiter, reached out to me for a higher level job. Would this work out and be a good move? Oh my goodness. Let's see. Okay, so Kimberly. If you'd like to read for Kimberly, put her name, the name of the card you get, and your interpretation. This new job, what do you think? Should she consider this new job? Death. It would be a big change. But I actually see that as a positive and think you should consider it. Let's see what other people say. Okay. Will I have a good flight in the morning? Marion, are you on your way to the UK Tarot Conference? I am so jealous. I'm just guessing that's where you're going. Marion, the Magician reversed. There may be a delay, but I'm sure it will be fine. Okay, Deirdre, my relationship seems to be stalled. What the heck, man? You guys, same relationship, right? I know about this relationship. On and off, yes and no, so weird. But, I've always felt like he loves you. So let's take a look. If you want to read for Deirdre, put her name, Deirdre, the name of the card you get, and, of course, your interpretation. What do we think? What do we think about the stalled relationship? Should Deirdre be concerned? It's the star. No, it's just more of the same thing. I'm not saying that it's a good thing or an enjoyable thing, but I think it's just the same. Okay. Very good. Hey, Miranda. I would like to know if there's any new information on me finding a literary agent for my manuscript. I'm going to start a new round of submissions, and I'm curious if there is anything monumental on the horizon. I actually figured out how to get your book into my Kindle, and so I am looking forward to reading it because I have a beta copy. Okay, let's see. If you'd like to read for Miranda, go ahead and put her name, the name of the card you got, and your interpretation. The Wheel of Fortune reversed. It feels like this has not been going as well as you would like it to go, and it may still take a little bit longer. Do not become discouraged. I wonder if you've worked with a developmental editor, someone to sort of help you in this process. But, let's see what other people say as well. Okay, Linda. Can I ask, will I meet my goal weight for the holiday and birthday in December? Okay, what can we tell Linda about her weight loss goal? If you would like to read for Linda, go ahead and put her name, the name of the card, and your interpretation. What can you say about her meeting her weight loss goal? The Four of Swords. So this says to me that yes, you can do it, but that you really have to think about how this isn't about just a diet. It's about changing your mental relationship with food. It's about a certain kind of recovery for you. Hey, Stephen, good to see you. Thanks so much. I've got your whole family here. You, your wife, your daughter. Hallelujah. Thank you so much for being here. You did a 1-card pull and received the High Priestess. So was that for you? It certainly would speak to your own psychic ability, which I know is significant. It would also speak to some desire you may have to not communicate, that you may feel like more being silent, being quiet within yourself, which on one hand you need to honor. On the other hand, sometimes people need you to communicate with them. Natasha, I got my first deck in the 3rd grade from my mother, who doesn't believe in this sort of thing. Then in 6th grade at a Girl Scout camp, one of the mothers happened to also bring a deck, and she said, "When the student is ready, the teacher appears," and she showed me a lot. That is such a good story. Lillian wants to know what keeps you motivated. Well, preferring not to have to say, "Do you want fries with that?" ever in my life. There's that. What keeps you guys motivated? Also, I love my work. Every single day motivates me for the next, quite honestly. I love the people I work with. I love doing readings. It's always fresh. It's always new, and it's always amazing. I've been a professional reader for 25 years, and never has there been a time when I didn't want to do it. So, it's all about do a job you love, and you'll never work a day in your life. There's that. Okay. And Julie started when she was 9. And Karen, back to her thing, she's working with the full deck. So those 3 majors are important. And tell me, don't worry. Don't worry. Okay, lots of good readings. Susan talks about her abilities as a child, always interested. Started reading cards about 20-something years ago. Okay. Julia said, "I watched this happen. I was only 2, and now I'm 21. Yes, Julia, you were the cutest 2-year-olds I've ever seen. Even my own kids. I mean, my own kids were damn cute. But you were so cute. And yes, reading for you now, remembering that I've known you since you were 2 is pretty freaking awesome. Okay, let's see. Nilsa, what should I know about my current relationship? If you would like to read for Nilsa, go ahead and put her name in, Nilsa. The name of the card you got, and your interpretation. And we'll be switching into the second half of our program. We had that freeze earlier, so I'm going to go a little later here. But we're going to be switching into the next half of our program pretty quickly. And so we won't take any new questions, but I am going to try to get through as many as I have here. I think we're back now. Okay. Go ahead and read for Nilsa if you like. 8 of Cups reversed. We seem to be kind of stalled. I feel like we're not really moving forward. We just are. That's what shows up. Okay. Let's see what else we got here. Joanne. Hi, Joanne. I have to chuckle every time you say we're working with a full deck. Sometimes I wonder. Okay. And Linda says, yes, I am an emotional reader. That's good. John McElroy, nice to see you. Wondering if there's any romance or relationship on its way, please. All right, let's take a look and see love relationship for John. If you'd like to read for John, go ahead and put his name, John, the name of the card you got, and your interpretation. Do we see love on the way for John? Page of Swords. You know what this says to me? If you are not doing online or app dating, you really should be. If you communicate, if you put yourself out there, and of course, Page is like web page. Swords is the suit of technology. So if you're not doing that, I really think you should, and I think you'll meet someone. Okay. Let's see what we got going on here. Natasha, what do you do to recharge after a busy day of reading, after an emotional reading? Here's the secret. I am a straw. I use my root chakra to ground to the earth. I bring energy up, all the way up. I connect to heaven from my crown chakra. I'm a conduit. I'm a straw. I don't give anything of myself to you. I don't take anything from you unto me. And so I don't really need recharging. My throat gets tired from talking. That's how I know I've done too much work. Otherwise, and the other thing is lack of exercise. Like if you sit there all day doing readings, you're not exercising. So for my own physical well-being, I have to make sure I exercise, drink enough water, all of that. But on a mental, emotional, spiritual, psychic level, no issues, no need to recharge. Reading recharges me. Okay, let's see what else we got going on. Patricia, will I get a job offer or new clients? What do we see coming in for Patricia? If you would like to read for Patricia, go ahead and put her name in, Patricia, the name of the card you got, and your interpretation. Do we see new clients? Do we see a job offer? What do we see for her where work is concerned? Page of Cups reversed. I think it really depends what you want. I think you have to go after what you want. I don't think it's coming to you. I think you have to go after it. Depends what you want and go get it. And we see lots of readings going on. Okay. Please forgive me if I don't get your name right. How about Srinivas? I don't know if I got it right. I am so sorry. I really don't like to get people's names wrong. But hopefully I came close anyway. Please correct me if I did not. If you would like to do a reading for this person, please put their name in. Sreenivas, the name of the card you got, and your interpretation. I would like to know when I will move out of the city that I currently live in. Oh, AKA Kevin. There you are. Okay, it's Kevin. Let's call him Kevin. Kevin. Got it. I don't know how you got Kevin out of that, man. Queen of Pentacles, reversed. I think it's going to be dependent on a job, and so it will have to do with a job change. But in terms of when, it is really hard to say. Let's see if anyone else has any possibilities. Go ahead and see. Let's see what we got going on here. Tracy, nice to see you here. Did I make the right move changing jobs? The Lovers reversed. You made the only move. It may not have been pretty. It may not have been perfect, but it was the only move. If you'd like to read for Tracy, go ahead and put her name, the name of the card you got, and your interpretation. Okay, very good. Very good. All right. I'm closing out to readings at this time unless if I missed you in the thread, let me know let me know I missed you. And you can just say you missed me the first time and put the question in. We'll come back and get you. I would like to now switch over to and keep the readings you're doing, keep them going. You guys have to I missed Kimberly's. Kimberly, go ahead and put it back in. And Lee, did you place your question earlier? I'm only at this point going to do questions that came in before the cutoff point that I missed. So if I missed you, let me know. No, if I missed you, it's because I missed you, Dina. Go ahead and put it back in, and we'll take a break out and we'll get it. And then we will, what's the word? Multitask. We will multitask. So if I missed your question, you got to put it back in because you're not going to make me scroll back through 200 comments. And so if you just joined a minute ago, sorry we missed you this time. We will be back next month. Join our group on Facebook, Global Tarot Circle, to make sure that you don't miss a meeting. Okay, Kimberly wants to know if she's got a new relationship coming. If you'd like to read for Kimberly, who I missed earlier, and Adina, if I missed you, go ahead and put it back in. Okay, so if you want to read for Kimberly, her name, the name of the card, and your interpretation is Love Coming. 9 of Cups reversed. It's going to take a minute. And you may have to think about what you really want and what's really going to make you happy. You may have to heal from some things of the past as well. Okay, Adina, what message does the universe or do my spirit guides have for me at this time? If you'd like to read for Adina, go ahead and put her name in. Adina, the name of the card you got and your interpretation. Adina, the message is about healing. The 3 of Swords is an opportunity to heal. It feels like you've been going through a rough time. Don't worry, you are not alone. Spirit is with you. You have friends with you. Allow yourself to heal, and things will get better. Hold space for whatever grief or whatever difficulty you're going through, but you will heal. Okay, Lillian, missed you. Will my daughter have a good pregnancy and the baby be healthy? If you'd like to answer that one, go ahead and put in Lillian's name, the name of the card you got, and your interpretation for Lillian. The World. So you know what I see here? I see a baby getting ready to be born. So yeah, I feel good about it. Okay, very good. So now let's talk about oracle cards. And you know, I think it was Kimberly, said exactly the thing. Oh, Dina says, yeah, you have been going through a rough time. Absolutely. I'm so sorry, but you will be fine. So some oracle cards have a lot of depth to them, a lot of truth to them. Others are just, as she says, it's a picture of a tree. It's a picture of a flower. It doesn't give you much. And here's my thing about oracle cards. You know how because we have Facebook Live that functions relatively well most of the time, we have a lot of people, myself included sometimes, willing to hop on and give free readings. And a lot of times the people who are giving oracle readings are literally just pulling an oracle card and reading it to the person with no interpretation whatsoever. What I want to say to you is that an oracle card reading is more than just reading the book or reading the card. You have to extrapolate. You have to actually make a connection to what's going on in the person's life. You have to use the context of the question. You have to use your own intuition. And this is where I think the connection, when you do it together, the combination of oracle and tarot can be so powerful because they provide context for each other. So those of you who use oracle and tarot together, hop in and tell us how you do that, what you tend to do. And let me share with you some of the oracle decks that I love and don't love and some of my thoughts about them. So here's one, Woodland Wisdom Oracle cards. It is a beautiful deck, but it is one of those where you really have to read the book or memorize? And that's my question for you. You guys who are oracle readers, do you actually memorize your oracle? Like, would you read this book and memorize the cards? Like, I think if you were going to use them professionally, you would have to. And Lori says she's never used them together, so this is good to know. And we'll talk about some ways that I think they go well together in just a minute. But let me see what other people have to say too. So here we have Spirit of the Mighty Oak. So it's beautiful, but what does it mean? Now you might extrapolate. You might say it means that you are strong like an oak tree, that you will grow big like an oak tree. What do we say about oak trees? Big oak trees from little acorns grow. But is that what it says in the book? Who knows? Here we have tree fairy. Here we have fairy of the woodland realm. I would have a really hard time being really intuitive with these things unless I studied the book, which frankly, I'm not going to do. So I'd love to hear your thoughts about all of that. Tabitha says, I don't, but a business partner loves to have her clients draw a single oracle card after a 10-card reading, and they do read the message on the card, but the previous reading provides the context and interpretation. Knit Faster says, I have an enchanted map. Same idea. I don't know what that is and would like to know more. Julie says, I do pretty much memorize them. Of course you do. If anyone in the world would, Julie would. I have a favorite that speaks to everything. Wisdom of the Oracle, Colette Baron Reed. And there are even reversals. Very cool. So here's my favorite, Conscious Spirit Oracle deck from US Games. I love this deck. Not only is it beautiful, I feel like there are so many messages. So, Marion says the Enchanted Map is also a Colette Baron Reed deck. 54 card deck, and the more cards, the better, as far as I can see. Linda says, I can't remember them all. No, but I have to read some of the book while using them. But I do read the pictures as well and pick up on things as well. It ties a lot to the tarot. I use it for guidance after a tarot reading. So a lot of people like to do, and it's a good way to close a tarot reading. When you're done with the reading, to pick one card from this oracle deck as a way of putting closure to the reading. That's a beautiful thing. David says, I agree with drawing one single oracle card. I do that with the cat wisdom cards, and they tend to be appropriate as well as funny. So it's a good way to close out a reading. So, okay, I just drew a card, and this is funny. Today is newsletter day. I put out a newsletter every Wednesday. If you're not on my newsletter list, you can go to my website, Christiana Gaudet, and get on the newsletter. But those of you who did read my newsletter this week, its title was At the Present Moment. And it's about being in the moment, being present. You know what card I just pulled for myself? The present. I fully experience every moment of my life by living in the present, which was exactly what my newsletter was about. So how cool is that? And so you see there was an extrapolation. Why did this card come up? To kind of affirm my newsletter and the work that I did around that. Because the newsletter always reflects what like, if you want to know where I'm at, read my newsletter. It always reflects what's going on in my mind that week. Okay. Let's see what else we got. Lillian says, I don't use the book. I use my inner vision and energies. Love to use 2 to 3 oracle and tarot cards for the readings. Clint, I've done 2 different tarot decks, and then closing with 1 or 2 oracle cards. Knit Faster, I think there's an Everyday Witch oracle. I would like that. Kimberly, I never use them professionally because I don't want to memorize. Same. But I've been using the Vessel oracle, a Spirit Speak deck, for choosing themes for people who don't know what they want their reading to be about. Very good. Marion, I have lots of oracles, but now tend to use only 2, the Wee Star Oracle and A Forest of Precious Twigs. The message is on one side and the image is on the other. Really cool. Kathy says, I do an oracle pull after a tarot reading. So that seems to be the theme, man. Do your tarot reading and then pull an oracle card. I like the Ascended Masters, Past Life, and Keepers of the Light. Lillian, I like to compare and read the books later to confirm or expand the readings. Kimberly says, Vessels cards say things like boundaries, communication, moving on. Knit Faster. Doesn't Daily Guidance from Angel Oracle have a message on it? A lot of the cards do. But again, I feel like the message has got to be the jumping off point. It can't just be, let me read this to you. That is reading, but it's not a reading. So here's Mystical Wisdom card deck, where we have these cute, like for instance, intuition. Trust your intuition. But you can't let that just be the reading. What I love about this, too, is these images, is you can pull a lot from the images. Doing a psychic reading with images, it's very much a scrying thing. And you can do this with tarot, too, where you look at the card and sort of see where your eyes go. And what does it make you think of? And where does it take you? And what comes out of your mouth with all of that? So let's see what other decks I got going on here. That's Mystical Wisdom. Here's Journey to the Goddess Realm. I always think I'm going to like this deck more than I do. We have goddesses and just sort of words. Like here's my favorite goddess, Breed, and the word is partnership. So, you could play with that certainly. What else do I have here? Here's a fun thing. This is by Cheryl Yambrick Rose. She made 2 decks, and you can use them together to make one super duper oracle. It's Art Through the Starstream Oracle and Art Through the Eyes of the Soul Oracle. So you can mix them up together. Marion says, for a while I was totally put off oracle decks because of the volume of Doreen Virtues, and it seemed like none other existed. Oh, there are so many. Kimberly says, I hate live readings where they just read the card or book aloud to you. Yes, it makes us all look bad. I had one student who felt like that's all you could do with an oracle reading, that was the whole of it. And I'll just show you one more that I like, Magical Times Empowerment Cards by Jody Bergsma. Let's do a card. Here we have Rebirth. This is for all of you. No matter what happens, you can find new wings, rise from the past, accept positive change that is coming. So how would I extrapolate that for a group reading for everyone? I would say wherever you are in the world right now, we are going through troubled times. There are troubled times politically everywhere. There is the fear and the perhaps reality of climate change. These are tough times. No matter what side of the fence you sit on, no matter what you believe in, we're scared. We're all scared. These are tough times. This tells us that a time of rebirth is coming. And if you look at the Phoenix, it almost looks like it's turning into like a yin-yang. And the idea that even though we are different, we can find a way to be together. So there was an example of extrapolation and interpretation. There you go. Now, I got you back into your cards, Knit Faster, didn't I? Actually, there's one more I want to share, which is Ciro Marchetti's Oracle of Visions, which I love. And there is a book that goes with it, but you really don't need it. There's no words, but the pictures are so evocative. So much you can. Are we back? I think we are. The pictures here are so evocative. In Ciro Marchetti's Oracle of Visions, there's just so much you can do with them. This is Ciro Marchetti's Oracle of Visions. And Julie calls it the dark deck or the let's get real deck. So, right, Ciro made such a good deck, it fooled around with our connection. Yes, it did. Okay, so David says, as you were talking about world problems, I decided to draw. Oh, tell us. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Okay. So those were some thoughts about oracle cards. And I think the consensus is pulling one oracle card after a tarot reading works really well. Another thing you can do is 1 for 1. Tarot card, oracle card to clarify it is an interesting way to go. And just work on coming to those oracle cards from a place of intuition and see where that goes. Now, I want to switch topics, although if you have more to say about oracles, by all means, please do. And I want to hear what David drew. So if you're still with us, David, please let us know. Now, Julie had a question in our group that I texted to myself. Okay, this is going back to tarot readings. And of course, they may be tarot readings that are augmented by oracle cards. Here's what Julie had to say. We say a lot about possible outcomes if a person keeps going in this direction, and possible course changes for better outcomes. But how do we discern how people are feeling about their situation, job, other people on the inside? In particular, I am thinking about my kids in this situation. Now, this is such a rich question for so many reasons. And the first thing, okay, before we get there, David's back, glad you're here. Before I even get to David, I'm going to say, from Kimberly, I have a tiny deck called Carrot Tarots that has things like ears, babies, the carrot, the slow dog, and it works really well for predictive readings. That's awesome. Okay, from David, hit the wrong key. Anyway, I drew a card from my cat wisdom deck, and it was Don't Panic. Yay. Hilarious. The deeper meaning might be that we are doomed if we don't keep our heads about us, our energies aligned with the universal, and our hearts open to each other. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. I love it. Thank you. Thank you for taking the time to share that. So Tabitha likes the question. And here's the thing, the first thing about this question is this is using tarot to read about what's going on with people on the inside. And if it's a person you're reading for, there's no problem with that. But very often we're asked to do this for people who are not present. What is my kid feeling about this? How is my husband really doing? What is my friend thinking? How does so-and-so feel about this? Does my boss like me? And there are a lot of people who will say that ethically, you really shouldn't do that. You really shouldn't look at someone's internal being if they haven't asked to be read. And my take on that is, oh, yes, you can. And yes, you should. As long as your intention is good. As long as your intention is for healing or because you need to know. I mean, if I'm helping you with work strategy, it's good to know if your boss hates you. And so it has to be pertinent to the person I'm reading for. If it's about your kids and they're not participating in the reading, I think it's good for a mom to know how their kids are really feeling, and this is a tool that can help us do it. Now, obviously, your mileage may vary. Everyone has their own sense of ethics. And so just because I say it's okay, I'm just saying it's okay for me. I'm not saying it's okay for the world. You have to do what feels okay for you. Linda agrees if the intentions are good. Susan says if it's pertinent, yes, absolutely. I don't really want to read about how your ex-husband feels about his new wife. It's none of your business, unless it's going to affect your kids, right? So, how do we know what someone is thinking or feeling? And I think this is just about interpreting cards in context. And you know what's a very helpful exercise for this is asking the cards what you really feel or think about something. And this is actually helpful. It's helpful for two reasons. Number one, because sometimes we're ambivalent. Sometimes we're not in touch with our own feelings, and this can be a great tool for helping us get in touch with our feelings. And if we do know how we feel about something, we can see the cards that come up, and then we can kind of gauge how cards speak about feelings. So we're going to do this exercise in just a moment, and I'm going to keep you guys a couple extra minutes because we lost a little time to tech problems. So I'm going to keep us till 8:05. If you need to go early, I understand. But if you don't mind, I get an hour with you. I don't like to lose time. Let's see. Marion says, I don't understand how they can be third-party readings if their actions have a direct impact on the client's life. Isn't that the whole point of a reading? Hallelujah, yes. You preach it, sister. This is why I love you, Marion. Yes. Abso-freaking-lutely, yes. Kimberly says, I'm constantly asking, how do I really feel? So let's, as a first exercise, I am just going to randomly pull some cards, not about anyone's feelings, but just how would we interpret these as feelings. And you go ahead and share your thoughts too. Say the name of the card and what kind of feeling you think it might represent. Okay, so the first one is super easy. 9 of Swords. We might be worried. We might be afraid. We might be anxious. We might be sleepless. We might be tired. We might be depressed. David, I saw a reference to Doreen Virtue's decks. My Indigo Angel cards are by her and Charles. What are your thoughts about these folks? Is this deck less than desirable? I'm going to tell you my thoughts. I like a lot of Doreen's decks. She has pleaded with us, begged us not to use them anymore because, and you know, she has always been crazy. If you look back at some of her past writings, even before her Christian conversion, there is evidence of crazy there. It's always been there. But you know what? A lot of great contributors to art are crazy. If you like the deck, it's fine. And my feeling is, every time you use her decks, Doreen sheds a tear. So let's use those decks as much as we can, folks. Make Doreen cry. I'm all for it. Sorry, I'm a Scorpio. I can't help it. Okay. Anyway. Let's get another card. Okay, Susan, 9 of Swords, making a mountain out of a molehill, catastrophizing. Right, so that's what that person is doing. That's what that person is thinking, or maybe that's part of their personality. Maybe they do it all the time. Okay, let's do another one. Oh, this is fun. 5 of Wands reversed. Very often comes up for a person who wants to stay neutral. It can be the personality of someone who always wants to be the good guy and is always afraid of conflict, always avoiding conflict. It can be feeling about a particular situation, leave me out of it. I will not be your ally, I will not speak against you, but I do not want to be a part of this. Okay. How do I feel? 4 of Swords, I want to chill. Hell yes, absolutely. Let's see. Kimberly, do you find it more useful to ask what is another person thinking or what are they feeling? Oh, Kimberly, I love you because those are two different things. What are they thinking? What are they feeling? Maybe do both. 1 card for each. What are they thinking? What are they feeling? I love it. Do you think there's a big difference? Yes, I do. Is there a reason to ask them separately or just combine them? No, it's not nitpicky at all. It's brilliant. I would say it's 2 separate things and you should do both. You know what, David? Don't let any card ever scare you. That's all I got to say to you about that. Let's see. Marion is laughing at my scorpionic ways. Julie, 5 of Wands reversed. Can we stop fighting now, please? Absolutely. 5 of Wands reversed from Linda sitting on the fence. Avoidance. Okay. Now, let's do one more of those, and then we're going to do our final exercise. And Kimberly has changed that exercise for us. So one more card just at random. Okay. Page of Cups reversed. If it was, what is this person thinking? Page of Cups reversed. They may be thinking they don't know how to feel. They may be thinking they don't know what to say. What are they feeling? They may be feeling shy. And what does this say about their personality? They may be shy. They may be immature. They may be having emotional issues. Yes, Kimberly says it. And this is why I don't like Doreen. Doreen was always afraid of tarot. That's why she single-handedly made them safe. You're right. Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay, so now, in our final moments together, Adina, swords. I don't want to get stabbed, emotionally, spiritually, or mentally. So let's remember that swords represent the element of air. Swords are thoughts, words, ideas, beliefs. And so when you see that 9 of swords, that 10 of swords, that is very likely a person who has been laid low by thoughts, by beliefs, or by words. And what do they say, man? Sticks and stones will break my bones. But words will never hurt me. But words do hurt, and that's why those cards are so difficult. Page of Cups reversed, the empathy without boundaries, someone who's a sponge. That's a good one. I like it. I like it. Okay, so now let's do this exercise. It's 2 cards for you. One is and think about a particular aspect of your life. Like I'll do mine. And the question, what would Knight of Cup be? A Knight of Cup is someone who is thinking about love. Someone who wants to move forward when it comes to a relationship. Someone who has a relationship they're focusing on. They're thinking about a relationship. They're feeling in love or wanting to be in love. Okay. So Marion says she never brought out a tarot deck until she met Radley Valentine, and basically she used his knowledge. That's right, and he's getting the rights to all those decks. So ultimately they will be Radley Valentine decks, so good for him. Kimberly says, without swords, we have no communication. We can't work out what's not being said. Good call. So 2 cards for yourself. Think about a particular issue. What am I thinking about this issue? What am I feeling about this issue? I'll do mine about my brand new office. What am I thinking about it? What am I feeling about it? Awesome. This is good. What am I thinking about it? Knight of Swords. I can't wait. I can't wait. I'm so excited. I'm thinking about all the different classes we need to do. I'm thinking about all the different things we're going to do there, buying furniture, doing all kinds of stuff. I'm just riding forward to do it. What am I feeling? King of Pentacles. It's a lot of responsibility. I'm going to have to work really hard, but it's good for my business and it moves my business to the next level. So that's what I did. In these next 2 minutes, you can go ahead and share yours with us. You can also, once we're done, move over to the Global Tarot Circle group and share your exercises there. I won't be there because I got readings for the next couple hours, so I won't be there till tomorrow. But go ahead and share your exercises. This is also the time to lay down your shameless self-promotion. If you have a website, a Facebook page, a product, anything that you want to promote, by all means, now is the time. Linda, good to see you. It answers your question. Oh, knit faster. 3 of Swords, 2 of Swords in regards to your job. Oh, that's so funny. Christiana, I've just got a message to remind you about cushions for your new office. Yes, I was just looking at them today. We ordered these beautiful couches, but they need some throw pillows. And I'm also looking for end tables. That's so funny. Yes, absolutely. You're right. Adina, thank you so much for holding these and so helpful and educational, inspiring. Thank you. Okay, so go ahead and share. Share what you've got going on here. Move over to the group and share there. Share your thoughts. Drop down your shameless self-promotion. What is your website? What are you working on? How can we connect with you? How can we support your business? I will let you know for my friends who are local, the very last class in this office that I've been in for the past couple of years and have loved. Certainly not disrespecting this office. It's been awesome. But the new office is on the first floor, has its own bathroom, and is twice the size, just saying. But our final class here is this Sunday, 4 o'clock, Magic with the Major Arcana. It's a great beginner's class. We're going to do a lot of work learning the Major Arcana, but we're also going to talk about how to use each Major Arcana card as a magical tool. So if you haven't signed up for that, I still have 3 seats left. You can find that here in Facebook events. You can also find it on my website, or just give me a call. I am available for readings by phone, Skype, FaceTime, Messenger, or here in my Palm City office, or after November 1st in my new Palm City office. You can private message me here to make an appointment. You can make an appointment directly on my website, ChristianaGaudet.com, or you can call or text 561-655-1160. I thank you all so much for being here. I really appreciate you all. Thanks for putting up with some tech hiccups. But we got through it, and the next time we meet, it'll be in the new office, and I'm really hoping that not an issue. For my new office, look out for water. Well, that's funny because we're just trying to figure out whether we're going to put in, we've got a thing we can put in like a water fountain, and we're trying to figure out if we want to do that. That's kind of funny. Okay. Thank you all very much. Have a great night. I'll set the date for our next month's meeting and put it in the group, Global Tarot Circle. And hope to see you. If you're local, I hope that you come to our class on Sunday. And I hope you come see us for many, many fine events in the new office in Palm City starting November 1st. And I look forward to speaking with you on phone, Skype, Messenger, and FaceTime. Thanks so much. Have a great evening, everyone.